In this video, I'll show you how to reset your work in case you want to reset back to the original magic loop with 6 single crochet stitches in it. So I'm going to show you 2 scenarios. In this first scenario, let's say you have made some stitches and maybe you're not that satisfied with them, or maybe you've lost count of them, but what you do know is that you have successfully put your stitch marker in the first stitch of round 2. In that case, your job's a little easier. All you have to do is undo your stitches until you get to that point, which means you want to make sure that you preserve this V. When you take out your stitches, you don't want to go past this because this is the first stitch of round 2. So to prevent yourself from accidentally taking that out, hold on to that stitch and then pull on the working yarn, which is the yarn that is attached to the yarn ball, slowly, and watch how the yarn comes out of one stitch one by one. So now it's out of one stitch, and let me show you real slow what it looks like when you undo a stitch. When it goes through and comes out of that first loop, you're actually left with 2 loops. So you're not completely done with taking out the stitch yet. You need to keep on pulling so that you only have this 1 loop left, and that represents that you've cleanly taken out an entire stitch. So we got 1 more stitch to take out. So here we go. Pull it out slowly so you don't lose track. And see, I've got 2 loops right now. I need to keep on pulling on the working yarn to get rid of that loop. To have only 1 loop left, that 1 loop is connected to the stitch that's connected to my stitch marker, so I don't want to take that out. So that is scenario 1. Scenario 2 is the trickier of the scenarios, but no worries, we will help you find that original magic loop. So let's say you have crocheted a bit and maybe you forgot to put your stitch marker in, or you don't trust that your stitch marker is in the correct place. So here I have no stitch marker at all. That ultimately you're going to want to try to get to a point where you can count cleanly that you have only 6 stitches, because that's what represents the magic loop. So I would say you should just take out 1 stitch at a time and keep on counting until you get to that point. Can be a bit tedious, but I will show you what I mean by this. So hold on to the stitch that you want to keep. In this case, you just want to take out this 1 stitch and keep this one, because let's say you're not sure whether or not just getting rid of this would reset you back to the magic loop. So pull the working yarn, and now you see you have 2 open loops. You got to still keep on pulling this working yarn until you get rid of that 2nd loop. And what I like to do, by the way, when I'm not sure what's going on, I like to pull on this loop and make it really big so that I don't accidentally pull on the working yarn at some point and then lose my spot. So let go and count again. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's take this stitch out as well. Hold on to the stitch 1 over, pull on the working yarn, check again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches. Almost there. Going to take this stitch out, check it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so let's take this out again. Now, let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we have arrived at the magic loop. You do not want to go any further than this. Another way that you could tell that you have reached the magic loop is that, like I said, all the stitches in a magic loop are stitched through the center point. So you can just follow under these top loops, where does the yarn perpendicular to them go into? Only those stitches count as part of the magic loop. The other thing is that once you get to the part where it's only 6 single crochet stitches, you'll see this circle is not complete. It's got a gap here. That also means that you've reached the base magic loop.